Just do a video clip on that.
Okay, the time is 5:40. Can I get a motion to come out of executive session?
So moved. Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, please note that no actions were taken in executive session. At our direction, council has prepared a resolution regarding the proposed CAT project at EPCAL with unspecified findings and alternative actions. I note that we received certain additional materials last night that we have reviewed and considered. Having considered all of the materials referenced in the resolution, and having consulted with agency staff, council, and third-party experts, I propose the following findings be included in the draft resolution. Number one, the company has not provided any evidence of eligible equity to fund the project. Number two, in lieu of eligible equity, the company has advised the agency that it intends to rely on a loan, the mezzanine loan, from a third party, the mezzanine lender. Three, the financial statements provided by the company for the mezzanine lender reveal that the most significant asset of the mezzanine lender is the ownership of certain NASDAQ-traded securities, a portion of which are pledged to third-party lenders. The company has refused to provide copies of the loan documents between the mezzanine lender and its lenders. These securities are of a technology company and have been trading only since November 2021. Number four, representatives of the company have advised the agency that the mezzanine lender has opted to not transfer any of such securities to the company, pledge such securities to the company, or liquidate such securities. Number five, representatives of the company have advised the agency that the mezzanine lender has opted to not provide a letter of credit or other eligible collateral to secure its funding obligation. Number six, representatives of the company have advised the agency that the mezzanine lender has proposed to maintain a certain value of such securities, but without any consideration of over-collateralization to accommodate potential volatility of the market value of such securities. Number seven, the company has provided an executed conditional term sheet for its acquisition financing. However, such term sheet is a lending proposal only and is subject to a number of conditions, including lender management approval, appraisal, and other due diligence. Such term sheet misidentifies the borrower as a single-member Delaware limited liability company, and such term sheet references a sponsor, 555 Real Estate One LLC, and a guarantor, 555 Investment Limited, to be approved by lender prior to closing, but no information regarding such entities has been provided to the agency. Number eight, the company has not produced any commitments for construction financing, providing only letters of interest from lenders to provide a commitment at a later date. Number nine, in various public and private communications, the company has referenced its relationship to the 555 organization, but has not produced any organizational chart explaining these relationships or financial statements of any such other entities or their principals, members, or directors. The company has also attempted to distance itself from certain 555 entities and actions, for example, when responding to questions regarding numerous lawsuits involving 555 entities. Number 10, the company has failed to provide a specific project definition, especially with regard to the uses of the facility, including the allowed and prohibited runway uses. The project income and expenses would vary significantly depending on such uses, and therefore the financeability of the project cannot yet be adequately assessed. Further, without a specific project, the agency cannot adequately evaluate the application for financial assistance submitted by the company. Number 11, the agency instructed its counsel to retain an independent accounting firm to assist with its due diligence, and Sadie, Levine, and Siaco CPAs, referred to as Sadie, has been so retained. Sadie has provided an opinion called the Sadie Report, summarizing its review and analysis. The Sadie Report includes the following conclusions. Based on the above discussed analysis, the company has not established that they have the financial capacity to acquire and develop phase 1 of the EPCAL parcel. More specifically, the company did not provide data to demonstrate that they had the ability to fund the required equity. The company did not provide data to demonstrate that they had the ability to acquire the mezzanine financing. The lending term sheet is deficient, and there is no commitment for securing the construction financing. Furthermore, Sadie has been given no information to conclude whether the company has the financial ability to develop the rest of the EPCAL parcel beyond the first phase or the project, and therefore cannot and do not render an opinion on the company's ability to do so. Number 12, the business plan submitted by the company was vague and not specific enough to provide a basis to determine the viability of a financially successful project. Number 13, despite our having held a public information meeting devoted to the topic, the proposed project remains largely undefined. The company has provided only general broad categories of possible uses. The company has advised the agency that for its specific uses will follow what the market bears. As the agency's mission involves economic development, in order to approve a project for financial assistance, we must be able to analyze the costs and benefits. Doing so requires us to evaluate the employment effects, environmental impacts, and a host of other economic factors. Unless the agency is advised as to what specifically is being proposed, the agency is unable to further process, much less approve the application. Number 14. Runways also remains undefined. In its initial presentation to the agency on September 21st, 2022, the company noted that historic uses were over 19,000 flights per year, and that the proposed project included a future taxiway and apron to accommodate airplane traffic. Specifically, the company's expert advised the agency that the public that will be using both runways eventually for cargo and also testing at the site. However, after almost a year of contradictory statements, on August 7, 2023, Justin Gurmazian, the principal owner of the company, apologized for these statements and said, "What is not being designed, considered, or proposed is a cargo jetport or a commercial aviation jetport." Yet a few minutes later, the company's counsel stated that the eastern runway has been and continues to be an active runway and would be available for such in the future. And the western runway would also be available for its historic aviation uses and or other contemplated supportive uses. In fact, the applicant has advised the agency that it would not locate any office uses near the active runway. The historic and supportive uses have not been identified, or defined. The agency is unable to properly evaluate the project on an economic, environmental, or societal level with the information provided. We do not have the requested details needed to perform a cost-benefit analysis or to hold a public hearing. The company's counsel seemed to admit as much when on August 23rd, 2023, he stated that until we have an approval on the site plan from the town board, we don't believe that there is a project that is suitable to be awarded certain types of economic incentives. The applicant has acknowledged that the town board site plan approval could take 18 to 24 months to obtain. The applicant has often referenced its relationship to 555. In her statements to the agency on August 23rd, 2023, Margaret Blakely, an executive vice president of 555, referenced several large 555 projects: the West Edmonton Mall, the Mall of America, and American Dream at the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Ms. Blakely repeatedly opined that 555's experience in these and other projects should be factored into the agency's decision for this project. However, when asked about specific entities by agency treasurer Mendelson, the company's counsel would only divulge that these entities were affiliates. Further, the company's counsel acknowledged that the lender would be vetting those things. Mr. Mendelson then stated, yes, while I appreciate your word for it, that's insufficient for the IDA's purpose, which is to vet it for ourselves. So I would like a response to that question regarding related entities, if not tonight, then shortly thereafter, so that we can make our own analysis of whether the lender has vetted it or not. Mr. Mendelson then asked 2 further follow-up questions related to 555 entities, with the company's counsel promising answers. No organizational chart or financial statements for the other entities have been provided. The information provided last night only includes the organizational chart included with the original application. Similarly, at the public information meeting on August 23rd, 2023, the agency sought clarification and detail on a number of lawsuits, one involving alleged defaults on pilot payments to a quasi-public entity, and no details were provided. The company's counsel seemed to dismiss the topic by saying that there is no litigation that the company is aware of at this time that has any merit or financial risks attached to it. In some respects, the agency is asked to rely on 555 experience and assets, but to ignore 555's ongoing litigation. On August 23rd, 2023, in response to the question, how soon would CAT be prepared to close with the town, the applicant's answer was as soon as the site plan process was finished. The company's co-counsel then contradicted that statement, opining that there would be 2 closings on this transaction, the first of which with the town would be imminent. The documentation submitted last night confirms the 2 closing scenario. The agency's Uniform Project Evaluation Criteria Policy requires that the agency assess all the material information included in connection with the application for financial assistance, and that no one factor may be determinative. The general criteria applicable to all projects include other public benefits. We find that the project is not well enough defined in order to evaluate this criteria. Likelihood of the applicant accomplishing the project in a timely fashion. We find that as the company has refused to initiate the site plan process with the town, which the company estimates will take 18 to 24 months, and given the uncertainty regarding its financing, there is not a likelihood that the project would be accomplished in a timely fashion. We consider impact to the environment and our surrounding area, and we find that the project is not well enough defined in order to evaluate this criterion. Typically, this information and several other criteria would be provided in connection with the site plan process. We consider impact to infrastructure. We find that the project is not well enough defined to evaluate this criteria. We consider community involvement and participation. Based on the comments received at the various public meetings and provided directly to the agency, we find that the community is strongly opposed to this project. We consider developer credentials. We find, based on the statements made at the public meetings and material provided by the company, that this developer was ambiguous as to the finite developer's credentials as they apply to this project. We consider land use factors. We find that the project is not well enough defined in order to evaluate this criteria. And finally, we consider impediment to financing. We find that there are material impediments to the long and short-term financing of this project. For each of the above factors, this application for this project with this developer yields a negative conclusion. I therefore propose that the draft resolution include the following statement. The agency's members have reviewed its Uniform Project Evaluation Criteria Policy and evaluated the proposed project based on such criteria, and hereby find that on balance, the proposed project is not appropriate for receipt of financial assistance from the agency. I further propose that the resolution to be voted on contain the following alternative text in sections 2, 3, and 5. Section 2. Based on the foregoing findings of the agency is unable to confirm that the company has provided assurances satisfactory to the agency of the company's financial ability to perform under the terms of Section 13A4 of the agreement. Section 3, based on the foregoing findings of the agency hereby denies the application and declines to provide any financial assistance as such term is defined in the Act or the project. Section 5, the agency, after consideration of all financial and project information submitted in connection with the application, is not issuing an authorizing resolution as contemplated by the agreement. Can I have a motion to approve the resolution?
Madam Chairwoman, I move to approve the resolution.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Is there any discussion?
No, ma'am.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Acknowledge our colleagues in Carly. Who's on Zoom? I'm sorry? Do you have anything to add, Jim?
No, I think I fully support the conclusions.
Okay. The resolution is denied. Okay, the resolution is adopted, and the application is denied by a vote of 3 to 0. Okay? The resolution says adopted, and council is instructed to prepare the resolution for certification consistent with the amendments that have been read this evening, and so that will take a few days to compile that information, but will be posted online as soon as that process is complete by our attorney Millen at Philip Lane. Okay? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Yeah, could I have a few words, please? I just want to say thank you.
Okay.
You're all well.